as they share insights, opinions and expertise on all things trading. Grab a coffee, pull up a chair and join the Trader Coffee Break.
Well. Hope you're all doing well. I'm Jason Graystone.
I am Akil Stokes.
And we're back again for another trader rant where we just make traders seem angry.
Rile them up a little bit.
No, we're just, all traders aren't angry. We're just, we've got a lot on our mind and we'd like to discuss it during this show. So if the first time you're joining us, welcome. Great place to be if you're a trader. This is a real good resource. You go out and check out some of the other videos that we've done so far. We've covered lots and lots of really important topics that traders want to talk about but don't talk about for whatever reason. So go and check out the channel. Appreciate you being here. And this week, we kind of don't rehearse these. They're just whatever topics come up during the live room. And myself and Akil just have a little chat just beforehand and say, have we got anything that's come up? And Akil had a good one. So Akil, what are we discussing this week?
Yeah, we're going to be discussing different levels of success. And I would say there is a reason traders don't discuss these topics, Jason, because we know that most people out there are trying to sell a certain status or a certain thing. And typically the things that we talk about here isn't the sexy stuff. It is the, hey, you need to do this
is true.
Boring stuff, tedious stuff. This takes hard work and energy, and it doesn't sell to a lot of people that those people are looking to sell to.
No.
But
No.
like I said, anything, whether it's trading or business, like it's success in general, this is what we need to speak about. And today's topic was about success. And I'll go ahead and read it to you guys here. But I recently put out an episode of my podcast, the Trading Coach Podcast, kind of talking about different levels of success and how, I think, speaking or referring to the people out there trying to sell you stuff and create this image of trading, they sell only a single image of success, where success is boats and cars and yachts and expensive vacations and that lavish life. And I think one of the issues is that traders get sucked into thinking that if I'm not doing that, then I'm not successful. Just like as, probably growing up, we look at musicians and artists and movie stars, and even me in trading, like with, I looked at different Wall Street movies and I thought that that's what I needed to be to look like a trader. We don't know any better. And hopefully we can discuss here about different levels of it. But the question was, hey, Akil, I've been listening to your podcast for over a year now. But on your most recent podcast, it really hit the feels about how many traders are actually in the struggling phase between failing and successful trader. I was listening to podcast episode 796 about mastering the basics. You said you went back to the old school books to build a better understanding of price action. My question is, since I feel like I'm in a similar situation, what old school books can you recommend to help you with that? So we can save that question for later. But I guess the first question I have for you, Jason, is, there are different levels of traders, right? There is, we put successful traders over here, and then there are struggling traders over here. But we also know that there is a middle level. So in your opinion, I guess, what is the difference between a failing trader and a struggling trader to start off? What would you say? Is there a difference between two? Or if you are struggling, is that the same as a loser or a failing trader? What would you say about that?
I think that, first of all, foremost, my definition of success is just deliberately doing something that you want to do, that you truly want to do. And that could be, forget trading. It could just be being a great mum or, being a musician or whatever it might be. My definition of success is deliberately working towards something that you love doing. So first of all, there's a lot of unsuccessful traders out there purely because there's a lot of traders just getting into trading because they followed some guy who told them that they could get rich. And unfortunately, that isn't going to end up in success. It's going to end up with you following a dream. You're not going to be ambitious in it because you don't really know, you don't truly love it. You're just doing it because someone told you to do it. Whereas a struggling trader could be a successful trader, because a struggling trader, as long as you are deliberately on a journey of learning to trade and you're picking up the the errors that you're making, and you're tweaking and adapting because you're ambitious to become a better and better trader, you'll find that you don't really feel like you're a unsuccessful trader, because you're taking each day as it comes, and you're getting better, and you're excited to look at the markets again, and you're learning and growing and developing. So for me, success is just about, do you love doing it? And if you're doing it every day and you love doing it, then great. That's basically what I would say is a success in the first step. You might not be getting the results that you want, but like anything, there's no real end game. And as we said before, like, there's no end game to trading, certainly. Like, I'm never going to be where I had the idea of like what a trader was. I'm never going to be there. I'll keep chasing, and each time I hit that step, there'll be a new better. And then I'll hit that step and there'll be a new better, and I'll chase and chase and chase. And there's always this idea of perfectionism, which dynamically moves with you as you go up the scale. So success to me is actually being able to do it every day and enjoying it, and enjoying that process.
Yeah, I like that. I was having a conversation with someone the other day about trading, and I was telling him how, I don't trade as nearly as much as people think. I think when we get into trading, people assume that, everyone's a day trader, everyone's in front of their computer 24 hours a day. And I was telling him how I actually cut back in my trading. We got into a little bit of argument where he couldn't understand. He's like, well, how can you cut back on your trading if it's going to make you less profit, right? Because I was like, yeah, I can probably trade something 24 hours a day. And if I traded 24 hours a day, I'd make a lot more money, but I would lose the things that I'm actually working on for trading. And he couldn't understand that concept. So I'm glad you brought that up, because, for me, success is, like you said, it's being in the position where I can do something I love, where I can make money and feed my family off of something I love, and create the life that I want, which for me, it's free time. I want to have time to spend doing things I like, spending time with family. And for me, I became more successful in trading when I started trading less, because I used that free time, instead of ignoring my kids and being like, no, I can't play with you, to be like, yeah, we can go to a movie and watch Mario, or we can do this, we can do that. And that was me becoming more successful, even though I was earning less, because I'm doing what I want to do in life. So, I really love that idea. I also like the fact that I think we're too quick to judge people, man. Like, anything in life, whether it's business, whether it's trading, whether it's sports, I think we're under this impression that, like, if we're not great right away, then we're a loser. I remember hearing a story, it's the NBA playoffs, and it was some player that was like, he got into the game, not a great player at all, but he made the team. And they shared this guy's story, and he was like, he was riding the bench and going back and forth between like on the team and being cut for like 5 years. And like, I remember him talking to like some of his friends, and his friends, not his friends, but I guess people he hung around. They're like, oh, you should give up. You're a loser. You're never going to be good. And he's like, well, I'm good just by being in the conversation. Like, my goal is to be a professional athlete. Yeah, I'm bouncing back and forth between the two, but like, I'm still doing much better than the vast majority, the 90+% of people that didn't make it at all. Maybe he didn't make it to the elite level where we know his name. He's not a LeBron James. He's not someone like that, but he's still a professional athlete, and he gets to play basketball for a living and make money off of it. And that's his goal. And he was telling his friends, like, he feels like he is a success story. So I think in trading, it's the same way. Like, we're not all going to be superstars, and it's going to take some time to become superstars. But honestly, like, if you're just surviving, and if you enjoy it and you're working towards getting better, and I think we both agree, if you continuously work towards something, you do it the right way, invest the right amount of time and the energy, like, you will get better.
Yeah.
I think you are successful. You may not be at the ultimate level of success, and we may never get to the ultimate level of success, but you certainly haven't failed. So there's no reason to kind of look down on yourself and feel like you're a loser for that.
Yeah, absolutely. And also, following on from your point, it's just your perception and perspective on success is based on levels that, a lot of people have on a pedestal. So yeah, you might be NBA level or NFL level or whatever, but that is a certain level, right? And there's a lot of levels, and it's very easy to forget where you are and kind of be grateful for how far you've come. So like, if you take wealth, for instance, or someone or just quality of life, right? For me, I've done all right, and there's a lot of people who would look up to my life, right? But then to Jeff Bezos or someone like that, I'm a pauper, right? I'm just like a mere peasant. And then to me, someone maybe homeless on the streets of London would be looked up to by someone who's in Ukraine getting their house bombed with nothing, right? And then someone in third world country, maybe like the third world countries, Africa or something like that, who's got like some diseases, they would be envious of someone in Ukraine. So there's always this whole scale, and I always say, at some point it's cold and at some point it's hot, but where's warm? It's you are on that thing somewhere, and it's about being grateful and going, right, do I enjoy being on this journey? And am I enjoying what I'm doing? Because if you can just do that as half the battle, then you're inevitably going to get better results, and you just have to enjoy that journey. That's what I think.
Yeah, and everyone's working towards something different. Like, not everyone wants to be Jeff Bezos. Like, for some people in trading, like, some people want to be super traders. Maybe some people want to turn into hedge fund managers and stuff like that. You want to take it to that ultimate level of success. There are some people, and we've spoken to many traders out there that are like, look, man, hey, I'm just trying to make some extra money on the side. Like, if I can, like, this is better than being an Uber driver or like DoorDash. If I can just like, if I can have a skill that I can use for a couple hours a day and make some money, that's fine. Or if I learn how to invest and I can, do a couple hours of research every once in a while, make some good investments and, have it fund my retirement, that's a win. Like, I don't need this lavish life. Like, I've got a good job. I'm happy with it. I just want to make a side business that doesn't require a lot of my time. And like, that is successful. Point. It's like,
that's a good point. I mean, what you're going to like, okay, you might not be getting 100% returns every year.
Yeah.
First of all, that's unrealistic to do that consistency for a long period of time, but you might make 5% or 10% for the year. And guess what? You could have done, like, you're not going to do that any other way. Like, you go and put your money in a bank. How else could you make? You might have to go and stack shelves for that amount of money per year. What do you prefer? That's really what it boils down to. It's like, okay, when you put it like that, I'm actually generating some money from this, and I don't really have to do a lot. Whereas it beats going to stack shelves or clean toilets or do whatever you need to do. Just remember this: there's someone who has a job to clean adult cinemas. I'll leave that thought with you.
Oh, sheesh.
Someone said that to me the other day, and I was like, oh, man.
And you thought a little bit better about your life. It could be worse. That's always think about that. So yeah, we say this because like we know what type of filth is out there in the world, and we know that confidence is so big when it comes to success, and that it is a rough journey, right? You do need support. There are going to be dark periods. And the problem is that we just don't want people thinking you're failing or you're struggling or you're bad when you're not really bad. Like, most of the battle is getting over that hump to get to success. And I think in all of our journeys, we've hit this kind of rock bottom point where we wanted to give up and, I'm not good enough, I'm failing. And then we usually kind of give up. Yeah. I remember the first thing that I had in my trading plan growing up, it still is in there, is that I said, I believe that the only reason people fail is because they give up before having the chance to be successful. And I believe that to this day, where I think everyone can be successful to a certain level. The problem is not all of us kind of make it past the darkest moments. And for you guys out there that are trading that, you don't really have anyone else other than maybe Jason and myself kind of feeding you kind of realistic views, I think it's very easy for you to kind of lose confidence because everyone's telling you you're a loser. And if everyone keeps telling you you're a loser, like eventually you're going to start believing it, and you start believing it, you're going to give up and you're never going to become successful. So our job here, our goal here today is to kind of empower you to be like, hey, maybe you're not where you want to be, but that's okay. You're not a failure. You're still doing well. And as long as you continue that drive to keep trying to do better, like you will get there. So Don't give up.
That's a really good point. I mean, remember a lot of success. Remember when people were, I remember when I started trading, there was a lot of people around me telling me that I wasn't, like, I should be more successful by now. I should be earning more money. Or they were going like, how's the trading thing going? And because their perception of success based on what's advertised and what's sold out there, that it should be easy and you should get results quickly, they were then saying, oh, you must be unsuccessful at trading. You must be not having success trading, because how come you're not earning any money by now? And if you listen to those people, you can start to believe them. So that's why we talk about getting around people like a community like this, like the Tier 1, like Trader Coffee Break. We've got people who are serious. They're all going through the same thing, and they're all experiencing the same emotions and challenges. So it's important to get around like-minded people and kind of take everyone else's opinions with a pinch of salt, for sure.
Yeah, agree 100%. So the second part of the question, because in this podcast, I did talk about kind of going back to the basics and kind of always being a student of the game. And I know you've done the same, Jason. Was he asked me, what are some old school books that I read to build your understanding of price action and whatnot? And I found a few books. I'm not sure if you read any of these, so this would be interesting to see if you did or not. I tried to pick ones that we don't often talk about. I think we mentioned in the last episode, Trade What You See. Was that the last? I think we mentioned that in the last episode. These episodes kind of run together, but that's a really good book. So I'm not going to bring that up again purposely because we just discussed it. I'm going to save one of Jason's favorites till last, but one book that I read, this isn't really old school, but just referring to kind of price action and going back to my journey of learning price more, was Diary of a Professional Commodity Trader by Peter Brandt. Underrated book. Peter Brandt is someone I look up into the industry because he's a classic chartist. Yep. And this was basically a diary, a journal. So the same thing that we're telling you here, where we're being kind of fully transparent, the same thing we do in the live room, where it's not like, hey, let's just pick winners and show it to you. We're showing you the ups and downs, the goods and bads, like, I missed targets by a pip, or I got stopped out and reversed, or I missed the trade because I wasn't paying attention. This book was kind of like that, where he was very transparent about his journey. And he mentioned like mistakes he made. He was like, yeah, I got into this trade I wasn't supposed to, but I did it anyway. And like, I think it was really cool for me to see like, hey, professional traders are still human beings. We still mess up. We still go through emotional responses. But how we deal with those are important, instead of just like forgetting it never happened, admitting it, accepting it. So this was a cool read for me. A little bit biased because I'm a big Peter Brandt fan, but that was a cool read for me. I don't know where to put this thing. Another one, Technical Analysis and Stock Market Profits, right? This is a classic. It probably has a different cover than what you're used to, but this is by Richard Scheibacher. This is kind of classic technical analysis, classic chart patterns, head and shoulders, pennants, breakouts, kind of classic charting stuff. So if you like classic charting stuff, check this one out. Another one is Technical Analysis Using Multiple Time Frames. I believe this is by Brian Shannon. Again, going back into the journey of, we both use multi-time frame analysis in our trading. So I went back and looked at this one as well. One more, the godfather of candlesticks. That's what he was called. Steve Neeson. Is that the right name? I think it was called.
Yep.
Japanese Candlestick Charting Techniques. Just going back to just the basics of reading an individual candle, the story that it tells you and whatnot. And then we got one of Jason's classic. This is a little bit different than the technical stuff, but I know you know this one, Jason.
Yeah. The
Intelligent Investor. Yeah. Good little Bible here.
Yeah.
For value investing and again, simple, basic, not like complicated strategies. More, I like to call it common sense stuff. Just like simplify it. I guess you can say.
Yeah, sure. Those. I mean, they're great books great book choices. I would say with the candlestick thing, with all of them, just don't take them as literal. Like it's like science. It's always someone's opinion and someone's own journey and someone's own research. So when you read these books, I tend to take pieces from them and kind of synthesize the information with what I've learned and how I can apply it. And don't don't take it all as gospel. Don't try and don't go, right, okay, I've learned that, I've got to do that now, because you'll just end up chasing lots of different rabbit holes. Whereas if you just read with an open mind and you synthesize the information, you can really learn a lot and really build a lot of discretion as a trader, because you're basically getting all of the knowledge and experiences from these people that have put their life's work into a 5-hour read or whatever, which is just, it blows my mind still that people aren't reading books. But yeah, it's amazing. You know,
it takes too long, man.
It takes
too long to
5
read
hours.
a book.
Guys spent 45 years putting the book together, you know.
I was gonna say, yeah, there we go. But no, that's a very good point, because I think and you know, we always like continued education. We map out a specific portion of our year to do that. And I love what you said about the open-mindedness, because you don't want to just like take this as gospel and say, oh, I need to do everything exactly the way this person does it. No. I think one of the values in going back, and this is why I love kind of going back to books after I kind of already had a kind of an idea of how I'm trading, because you go through it, you read these 5-hour books, and maybe you take like one thing, right? Everything's like, okay, I know that already. I've seen that. No, I tried that. Not for me. But maybe you find one little chapter where it's like,
yeah,
didn't think about that.
Yeah.
And then you go off on this journey, like, how can I implement that into what I'm doing? And you find like this one little puzzle piece, this one little kind of cog fits into your bigger trading gearbox. And then like, it can help take you to the next level. And like, I don't mind it at all. Like, I will read a book if I can find one valuable thing, whether it's something new that I learned or something that reaffirmed something I already knew, or it's just something that I was curious about. I'm like, oh, that's a cool bit of information I can use. Then it was a plus. Yeah. So I think a lot of people think books are waste, because it's like they're expecting it to change their life forever. Yeah. It's like, I read this book, or I take this training course and I'll come out as a super trader, where the honesty is like, you take a little bit from it, but those little bits over time improve what you're doing. So go into a book with an open mind, just looking to learn and get what you get from it. But it's not going to, no book will change your life. No book will change your life.
Yeah. How you implement the information, that's what's going to change your life. Mm. Not reading and praying that it's just going to somehow miraculously get you to where you want to be. You have to actually do the work. You have to learn. And as it kind of rounds off to the subject of this show, is the success is being able to just do that journey. You know, learn, adapt, grow, implement, action, learn more. That's success. Success is actually being on that path. And the results just get better and better from that point on. So cool! What a great topic! Really important one. Hopefully, the guy who posted the question listens and
hope so.
takes from it. We've got another topic lined up for next week, but as always, if you guys have got anything you want us to talk about, please do fire away in the comments, and check out all the other episodes. Again, thanks for listening. Have a great rest of your day, and myself and Akil will catch you in the next one. Take care.
Thanks for joining us for the Trader Coffee Break. Be sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and don't forget to hit the notification bell to never miss a live discussion. Follow our hosts on social media, and remember, do nothing to gain perspective on everything. See you next week.